Welcome back, 8:39, your time. There are festivals celebrating holidays, seasons, notable people, even entire neighborhoods. But this Saturday, a festival happening in Atlanta will honor something that none of us could live without. We're talking about soil.
Yeah, the 7th annual Soil Festival will take place at the Truly Living Well College Town Farm, and it's dedicated to highlighting the food journey from planting to plating.
And good day, Atlanta's Paul Milliken is live at the farm this morning. Paul, they are ready for a tasty weekend, my soil brother.
Yes.
Soil brother.
Yeah, look at this. I'm ready to go. No, listen, you know what? If it weren't for soil, you wouldn't be able to enjoy any of those burgers you eat, all right? So you should be very thankful for soil. That's why we're celebrating it on Saturday with Soil Fest. This is Food Well Alliance and Truly Living Well coming together and celebrating soil and teaching people ways to be more connected with the earth. So many of us can be doing so much more. And that's where this comes in. All right, I have to tell you, I kind of thought I knew what composting was all about. Turns out I'm totally wrong. So we're about to change some minds out there, hanging out with Trinity Harrison, who is a farmer and an educator. Great to see you. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing better now that I'm here. And in 5 minutes, you taught me more about composting than I knew in the first 42 years of my life. So first of all, let's talk a little bit about you, though. So you'll be out here on Saturday. What are you going to be doing during Soil Fest?
So on Soil Fest, we're going to have a plant sale, and I will be doing transplanting demonstrations for people the whole day. And also, our compost connectors are going to be doing vermicomposting lessons.
Yeah, and these compost connectors, by the way, you're looking at are 9th graders from Booker T. Washington High School. So it's great to see you all out here this morning. Good morning to you. Okay, so let's talk about composting. Now, first of all, if somebody had kind of never heard of what composting is, how do you answer the question of why is this important? Why is this something we should be doing?
You know, something that we always want to talk about is reducing our carbon footprint, and composting is probably the easiest way you can do it. You eat every day, multiple times a day, you know, and we contribute to food waste. And the thing about food waste is when it just goes to a landfill, it contributes to methane gases that heat up our global temperature. By putting it in compost, the soil is actually like, not the soil, but the compost itself is actually drawing away from that process that creates the methane and also producing a healthy carbon sequestering process.
Wow.
So you're actually taking away from some of that impact as well.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about exactly what composting is. So for those of us at home, after we're done eating, what kinds of things should we be composting?
So we have some examples here. We have fruits. Cheerios, I would love to also point out to people, you can do whole grains. So breads, cereals, that'll be perfect. Fruits, of course, worms love fruit also. So, you know, that's what you really want in your bin.
Yeah.
And also vegetable scraps. You could also do grass clippings. You could do coffee grinds. You can do teas. All of these are things you can put in your compost.
Yeah.
Now, what you don't want to put in your compost, I have an example here of like a cheese Danish. And the reason why I really picked this one is because it is a grain, it's a bread, but it has a lot of dairy in it. You don't want dairy products.
Okay.
So no dairy, no meat. Another example Shania has here for us is this onion. The onions don't really break down like that. It just stays alive. You can see this onion is cut in half and it's still trying to make another onion. So, you know, I would not put onions in my compost.
Yeah. And obviously something like a water bottle, that kind of waste, it's not going to break down.
You know, and think about stickers that are on your food, things like that. No stickers, no waxy materials you can use. For example, we have browns that we just put in here. A lot of people only think about putting the food scraps and things in, but you also need the browns. You actually need more of your brown materials than your actual food, like 30 parts to 1. So some of our browns include newspapers, shredded papers, wood chips, leaves. Leaves are the best. They have a high amount of carbon. So anytime leaves come around, instead of thinking that you shouldn't be, or instead of expecting people to come pick it up or whatever you do with your leaves, turn around and compost it and use it.
That's a great idea.
That's like the best way of making good topsoil.
Great tips. And all this stuff will be available this Saturday at Soil Fest. I will see you guys there. I'm super excited at this beautiful farm, too. It's a great location here right off of I-20. You would never know it's here in the middle of the city. So lots of stuff. Plus, you'll get these free bandanas, guys, look, that actually tell you what you can and cannot compost. There you go. It's on a bandana.
I like
You'll never forget.